Pro-Life in the Classroom, a nonprofit, is working to meet the rising number of families looking for an inclusive Catholic education for their children with special needs. For decades, those with disabilities were segregated or ignored by the education system. It wasn't until 1975 that the All Handicapped Children Act passed, which required public schools to provide special education services. The National Center for Education Statistics reports that for the 2022 to 2023 school year, about 15% of students in public school receive some kind of special needs support. In 2023, the National Catholic Educational Association reported about 8% of children who attend Catholic schools have a disability. Catholic education for those with disabilities still falls short, with less resources available than public education systems. A nonprofit organization called the Fire Foundation is working to fix that in schools across the country. Take a look.
If the life of an unborn child with Down syndrome is worth saving, then that soul is also worth feeding and guiding and forming deeply in a love for Jesus Christ. And where better to do that than in a Catholic school?
What does it mean to be pro-life between conception and natural death? One organization is igniting the pro-life movement during a life. Francis Mayer, the father of a child with Down syndrome and a senior fellow at the Ethics and Public Policy Center, spoke about the importance of an inclusive Catholic education at the annual Fire Foundation Gala in Denver.
Our whole mission is to champion students with disabilities and get them into our Catholic schools. And we do that through providing educational resources, fundraising efforts, but ultimately providing a whole culture of belonging. Because at the end of the day, that's really what this is about.
The Fire Foundation, or the Foundation for Inclusive Religious Education, equips schools and dioceses across the nation with resources to provide Catholic education to children with special needs. The goal being to promote the participation of peers with disabilities in ways that are the same as their non-disabled peers.
I think there's nothing more heartbreaking than when you see the families that have to break up their children so that they can get an education, because the Catholic school isn't available, or maybe they're fearful of allowing a student with a disability to come in there.
Carrie Rowe founded Fire Dallas in response to a problem she herself, among many other parents with special needs children, found themselves facing. Catholic schools lack the resources for their child. This is why Fire Dallas, along with 9 other affiliates nationwide, provides grants to Catholic schools for special education resources, technology, and training for teachers in order to better receive those families in search of a Catholic education for their special needs child.
Since the arrival of the Fire Foundation is the ability for our schools to open their doors and accept students with special needs.
Originally started in Kansas City, Missouri in 1996, the organization has operated in 15 schools and helped more than 800 children, those with disabilities and those without.
I think the best kept secret is that inclusion benefits all students academically, spiritually, and socially.
Francesca Pellegrino, founder and president of the Catholic Coalition for Special Education in Maryland, says it is more than just a special needs child that benefits from an inclusive format.
There is a growing body of research that shows when children with and without disabilities are educated together, everybody does better.
In his 2024 apostolic journey to Timor-Leste, Pope Francis echoed this point.
Give us the testimony of letting themselves be cared for, because they teach us how we should let ourselves be cared for by God. They are our teachers.
Lisa Froelich, a teacher at a Fire affiliate school in Iowa, says she learns from her students every day.
They just bring so many joys no matter what. The laughter that we do share is hysterical. It's just, we laugh about everything. We try to find something funny in everything. The relationships that you build with them, the relationships that you see other students build with your special needs students, it's so rewarding. It's worth the challenges.
And it's not just teachers who are being taught, it's priests too. Father Nathan Goebel, chaplain of the Fire Denver Board, has been working with families and priests involved in this mission since he was a seminarian.
And for me, like as a member of the church, what I'm able to do is actually say, this person, although they have a need, they're going to teach you about your need.
He not only emphasized the importance of community among parents with special needs children within the church, but also recognized his role as a shepherd in fostering the unique community.
Because what I've realized in coming to serve this community is how much I receive from caring for them, as well as for them caring for me.
Foundations like FIRE that equips those with special needs with the spiritual and academic formation they need reaffirm what it is to be pro-life and pro-family by respecting the dignity of all of God's children and working to keep families united. As affiliates are added each year, the FIRE Foundation hopes to continue growing across the country, since the formation they provide isn't just one-sided.
Children with disabilities can bring us so many blessings that we just can't even imagine. I mean, my son has taught me so much more than I could ever have taught him.
It's inspiring work. I recently had the opportunity to speak with the executive director of the FIRE Foundation in Denver to learn a little more about the organization's financial needs and how they work to meet the needs of children. Kyle, we just heard about the FIRE Foundations around the nation. Can you tell us more about the specific services FIRE provides in schools? For example, some children with disabilities may need an in-classroom aid. Does FIRE provide that?
Yes, it's a great question. You know, our work is all about partnering with Catholic schools in the diocese we serve to deliver grants that support either staff salaries for a paraprofessional, which would be an aide in a classroom, a special education teacher who might be doing some more advanced curriculum modification. We provide funds for professional development for teachers to get the training they need. And the third category is adaptive technology and equipment that might be needed to help make certain accommodations for different students with different learning needs.
That sounds very comprehensive. Now, teachers in these Catholic schools may not have the necessary training and might even be fearful of the challenges special education presents. Can you tell us more about the professional development you provide to teachers?
We partner with the schools and understand that there's a vast diversity in our Catholic schools in terms of their needs and individual experience. And so we really partner with each school to say, where are you in this journey of serving students with disabilities, and what type of training are you looking for? Could be behavior or regulation training for students that are having trouble being regulating themselves in the classroom. It could be specific reading or math language skill training. Perhaps it's a training on a specific disability or need like dyslexia, autism spectrum disorder, Down syndrome, etc. So we really partner with the school to learn what is it that you're in need of, where are the holes, and how can we help fill those gaps.
I love that tailored approach. And what about the students? Can you tell us what developments you see in their lives, spiritually or academically?
Yeah, there's 40 years of research that shows us when students with disabilities learn alongside typically developing peers, that everyone benefits. We see test scores go up, especially in English and language skills. Oftentimes math scores go up or stay the same. So great academic benefits. And that's because teachers learn to meet each and every student exactly where they are in their educational journey, regardless of a diagnosis or not, and really help to meet them where they are and help them succeed. We see a lot of spiritual benefits as well, because we finally see the body of Christ in its fullness coming together in a Catholic school. We get to see every part and every child that God has created getting to learn alongside each other, skills of empathy, kindness, respect, things that you can't teach in a book, but students learn through companionship and friendship together, and social emotional as well. Children with disabilities having the ability to learn alongside their typically developing peers allows them to get social benefits and exposure that they may not get in a more exclusionary or segregated environment.
That sounds incredible. And can you speak to the success rates of kids heading to high school, college, or obtaining jobs?
Absolutely, yeah. There's a lot of wonderful high schools across the country, Catholic high schools, that are including children with disabilities as well. We're very happy here in Denver to have our first high school partner welcoming children with significant needs into their school. And we know that that is more likely to ensure job placement for the long term. When students with disabilities are included in environments alongside typical peers, they're more likely to be able to obtain and maintain jobs long term. There's also a lot of great inclusive college programs across the country that are beginning as well to say, how can we welcome and open our doors to provide a 2, 3, 4-year program for students to gain more long-term skills and be able to obtain a job that's not just job placement for the sake of job placement, but true fulfillment. An individual with a disability has dreams just like you and me. And to be able to ask that young person, what do you want to do with your life? What is your dream job? And how can we help you to gain the skills necessary to obtain that is really exciting. And it's key for longevity and happiness for all people.
That's incredible. Now, FIRE is a nonprofit organization. How does FIRE gain the funding it needs to provide grants for children with special needs?
It's 365 days of fundraising, grant writing, event planning, meeting with donors. We do everything we can to ensure that if an individual's heart is called to make a gift, that we have lots of different ways for them to be able to make that contribution. And it's through that generosity that we're able to do all the things that I've been talking about here, partner with schools, with dioceses, bishops, superintendents, to be able to ensure that we know that this is hard work, but we can do hard things. We can do difficult things. And it's our calling as Catholics to embrace every person. And so that generosity of our donors through our fundraising is how it's possible. It's the only way we can accomplish these goals.
I know a little bit about fundraising myself, so that's incredible. What does the future look like for the FIRE Foundation and Denver nationwide?
Here in Denver, we're celebrating 3 years of operation here and working with 14 schools in our archdiocese. And we know that there's more schools, more children, more teachers, more individuals that need our support and help. And so we're looking forward to growing where we can, reaching more folks. FIRE foundations across the country are all in their each sort of specific phase of their journey, but looking to help to get into more schools. There's so many families that are turned away, unfortunately, from Catholic education. And we just want to make sure that we can encourage schools and give them the resources that they need to be able to joyfully and successfully say yes to every family.
And Kyle, any closing thoughts or anything else you'd like to share?
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's a lot of important missions in our church, but especially in reflecting on our role as a pro-life church and a pro-life people. I can't think of anything greater that we could provide to a family that said yes to life, to a life that God has brought into this world, than to ensure that every child has the opportunity to access the rich gifts and opportunities that the church provides. As a convert who converted after 13 years of Catholic education, I 100% believe that Catholic education is the greatest gift we can give to children. And I'm just grateful that to be a part of a mission that ensures every child has that opportunity.
Well, Kyle, thank you for your yes. Kyle Van Frank of the FIRE Foundation of Denver. Thank you.
Thank you.